So guys, it's illegal now to should I say exploit a man acting like you're his baby mother. That's so crazy because was in effect when my ex's wannabe baby mama scammed him. He was buying everything for the baby and it wasn't even his. But yeah, she act like it was that she was the baby mama and scammed him out of $7,000, y'all. And now she's in jail. And she's a teenager.
So my brother's getting a divorce. His wife's leaving him. And I'm going to tell you why. So it was his birthday last week. And he was so mad that he thought no one remembered his birthday. He texted me in the afternoon and said, everybody forgot my birthday. You forgot. Mom and dad forgot. My kids even forgot. Even my wife forgot. So his wife told him in the afternoon that she was going to have her friend Janet pick him up after work and take him home instead of her. And so when work was over, he went out and Janet was in the parking lot waiting to take him home. Well, the moment he got in Janet's car, she told him, "Happy birthday." And he thought, wow, someone actually remembered. And then she said, "You want to go and get a couple of drinks at the bar before I take you home?" And he told her, "Sure." So they go to the bar, get a couple of drinks, and things are going really great. They're having a great time together. And before she took him home, she let him know that she needed to stop by her house really quick. So they pull up to her house, and she goes, "Would you like to come inside for a drink?" And he told her, "Sure, why not?" So they go inside to Janet's house, and she lets him know that she's got to run up to the bedroom real quick, and she'll be right back and to make himself comfortable on the couch. Well, my brother didn't know it, but we were all waiting at Janet's house to surprise him. We were all waiting in Janet's bedroom. We're having a surprise party. Well, myself, our parents, my brother's kids, and his wife all walked out to the living room and yelled, "Surprise!" And my brother was sitting on the couch, buck naked.
Let me take my glasses off so I can hear y'all a little bit better. So you mean to tell me when dudes be asking y'all if y'all need anything, y'all be saying no? Never in the history of histories has a dude ever asked me if I need anything, and I was like, "No, I'm good." There is no way in the world a man is going to sit up in my face and bust down a tomahawk steak with a loaded baked potato, okay? While some of y'all ribs been connected to your backbone all day, ain't ate nothing, and you couldn't think of anything that you needed? Not on my watch. Baby, you come over here asking me if I need anything, you better believe, hold on. I'm going to grab this right here, because it's so crazy. This list of things I need. Talking about, oh, you better than me, because I don't want nobody to think I need them for nothing. Okay? Yeah, I am better than you. You're right. Okay? I'm glad you're very self-aware. I'm proud of you. Yes, I am, because now I, too, am busting down a medium well filet steak with cream of spinach, just how I like it. What is all this modesty about? What is all of this? I got it. I love her because she got her own. Baby, Neo ain't never been my type and ain't about to start today. Okay? Don't come over here asking me if I want anything. Somebody, I didn't want to inconvenience him. Baby, I don't care nothing about inconveniencing that man. If it was unattainable, then why did you ask? Look, ask me if I need anything. And absolutely, I thought you'd never ask. I'm in dire need of everything.
If you're begging, then just say that. If you're desperate, then just say that. If she didn't need it, she don't need it. You don't have to exploit a man for nothing. I mean, he didn't even do anything. Do you need anything? No, I don't. Now, if you're hungry, and you say, well, he's eating a tomahawk steak, well, he's probably not going to be doing that, because y'all are probably going to be on a date. But if he says, "Hey, do you need anything? Can I help you out?" and you don't actually need anything, don't say that you need anything, because then you'd be a liar. And then it's going to become transactional, because every time he asks her something, he asks you, "Do you need anything?" you always have, "Yeah, go do this, go do that." Instead of, "No, I'm fine." Y'all always want to go overboard.
If I plan all the dates that me and my man go on, and I plan all the trips, and I plan our future, and I plan everything that we have going on, and all he has to do is hand me some money or hand his car to me, what has he done as a leader? Because in a relationship between a man and a woman, the man is the leader. He is the head. Okay? What has he done as a leader to be intentional, to put forth effort, to initiate. What has he done? It sounds more like instead of you being in the passenger seat and him driving, you're driving, he just put the gas in the car.
Ladies, please stop making videos on how you think a man should lead and start making videos on how women should submit. Okay? I usually love Sierra's takes, but this one, girl, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to disagree with, and all you bobbleheads in the comment section of her video. It's clear to me that a lot of you women don't understand what leadership actually means or what it actually looks like. Leadership is not about who does the task. Leadership is about authority, accountability, who actually takes the risk. You planning anything does not make you a leader any more than it makes a personal assistant a CEO if they're just sending out emails and making phone calls. Okay? And that car analogy that you wanted to use so bad, let's actually use it correctly. If that man owns the car, pays the note, pays the insurance, makes sure there's gas in the car, and is liable for anything that happens to the car, he is the leader of that car, whether you are the one driving the steering wheel or not. Because a leader is about someone who answers when things goes wrong. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you women love to say, oh, I don't want to think or I don't want to worry about nothing if I have a man. Delegation is not a weakness, okay? It's actually one of the most core definitions of leadership. Only insecure people think leadership means doing everything yourself so that it makes you feel important. A man saying plan it how you want, first of all, just makes you a planner. I want to make that part very abundantly clear. It does not make you a leader. If he's saying I'll cover everything, right? That doesn't mean that he's sitting in the passenger seat. That's actually him saying you choose the route. I'm responsible for the destination. Hello. And here's the real problem with a lot of you women and women who think like her. And this is where y'all get mad. A lot of you women don't want leadership. Y'all just want constant stimulation and proof. To feel led every fucking 5 minutes. On a performance, you want to be impressed. That's not leadership, ladies. That's just entertainment. If the bills are played, the plans are funded, and the responsibility is his, and the consequences are going to fall back on him, right? That man is still leading whether or not he picked the restaurant or the destination. And y'all are having this mindset of nothing counts unless it looks exactly how you imagine it to look. That's not standards, ladies. That's control issues that y'all are trying to dress up as femininity, and it's not the same. Leaders don't need to be micromanaged as much as real followers don't need constant theatrics. If you think leadership means do everything while I judge on the sidelines, then no, you don't want a leader. You want a director, a producer, and a sponsor. And even then, y'all are still never satisfied.
I keep telling you, man. They be talking like they be so deep and there don't really be anything important coming out. They don't. They be pausing. They be doing all of that stuff and don't nothing be said. Nothing at all, man. Stop talking.
Feminists are mainly white, middle-class, female liberals who have no idea how the real world works and yet want to advise you on how to live in it. Let me go through your complaints. Feminists want control over their bodies. You win. You have 12 types of birth control, and you can actually Uber Eats a Plan B. You have on demand, and in the states that it's not, it's simply a weekend trip. You have 1/8 of the world population. You win. Feminists wanted to fight against culture. You win. If a woman is assaulted or if she revokes consent after the fact, she has the power to get a man fired from his job, kicked out of school, or thrown in jail. You won, feminists. Women want to be free of traditional gender roles, fine. Men invented the dishwasher, the Roomba, the air fryer, fast food, and Uber Eats. There are meal prep services and cheap restaurants. You win. Women wanted to have a career first and get married later in life. Men allowed women to come into the workforce and have millions of dollars in funding, pushing women into male-dominated fields and scholarships, and invented IVF to give us another 5 years of fertility. The husbands pay for the IVF And they are pushing to get it taxpayer funded. You win. Women wanted to be sexually liberated instead of getting married. Men invented Tinder and Hinge so random men can literally come to your door. The men from your hometown are not good enough. Men invented social media so you can get flown out by the highest status men in the world. Women did not want to work jobs, fine. Men invented social media so you can talk into a microphone and get paid. You can now work from home so you can have a family and be a mom. You can make money selling your on the internet and become a billionaire. Women did not want to give birth, fine. Men invented surrogacy so another woman can do it for you. Women wanted to be thin without working out, now you have Ozempic. You want to look younger, fine. Men invented Botox, hair dye, filters on your phone, nose jobs, Anna knows, plastic surgery, lash extensions, makeup, and AI to make you look thinner.
You should look into it.
You can now wait till 40 to have a baby, freeze your face, work in an air-conditioned office, earn a living sitting on your ass, getting fat, spending money you don't have, marry someone to pay it off, divorce him, put him on alimony and child support, get a Roomba, your kid, have unprotected sex on camera, get paid for it, order any cooked food to your door, get a self-driving car, and then complain to men that they caused you to be lazy and fat. You are now empowered to have 10 bang 300 men take a DEI position that pays $300K a year, Uber Eats a Plan B, study underwater basket weaving, and get sympathy when your degree pays no money. Feminists are spoiled, liberal, progressive women that have no idea how good they have it. You guys will never be happy until men are nothing but empty shells who are slaves to the system, fueled by feminists' selfishness, spending habits, and poor choices. Feminists don't care about equality because if they did, there would be equal rights for men. There would be equal men's shelters. There would be equal funding for men's cancer. There would be real equality. I checked 20 different feminist websites and have not found one that mentioned a single issue that asked for men to be equal. It only asked for special treatment. Feminism has empowered women to destroy this country through the death of 1,000 cuts. Feminism is not about equality, it's about insidious domination. It has been a slow creep to where women are complaining about their non-existent oppression. Men have figured this out because they're highly adaptive and the math is not mathing. I am curious to know feminists' plan when men refuse to stop providing, protecting, and maintaining the civilization you enjoy corrupting. Feminists are about to around and find out. Feminists have won. You destroyed every single male group that used to be strictly for men, like Boy Scouts. You can falsely accuse men of harassment and endless lawsuits. Feminists have more political power, voting power, and spending power than any other group. Everybody caters to you. Corporations cater to you because women are the primary purchasers. Politicians because they need the vote. Men have to pay child support to a rapist. Men are not believed when they're abused. Men have to die at work and at war. Men have to pay child support for 18 to 21 years. Men have to register in selective service. Men are not given additional consideration for college admissions, jobs, opportunities, and scholarships. Children are not DNA tested at birth, leading to paternity fraud, which is not prosecuted at all. And men will more than likely deal with this in their lifetime. Men are the majority of the homeless. Men are the majority of the suicides. Women can hit men, and men can't hit back. Feminism has empowered women to destroy men, and congratulations, 1.6 million men have committed suicide. What more do you want, Anna?
All right. That is the debates. Let's give it a big hand for these two debaters.
Thank you.
She pretty much covered everything. Literally, that closing statement, 3 minutes. She went in. Wow. I would have liked to hear Anna's response.
Am I the asshole for telling my husband that I see him as a liability and not a partner? Sorry for the long post. It's 2 a.m. and I'm crying and tired and worn out. If I'm rambling, it's because I've held this in for so long, not wanting to burden friends or family with my marital troubles. I, 34 female, have been with my husband, 37 male, we'll call him Nathan, for 8 years. Ever since our daughter, 3 female, was born, I've been unable to trust Nathan with anything, no matter how small. Background context. When I was 19, a semi truck driver fell asleep at the wheel and turned my car into scrap metal with me inside of it. I have enough metal holding me together that I light up like a Christmas tree for TSA, and I'm physically impaired with good days and bad days. I used a portion of my settlement check to buy a house outright and have it retrofitted to accommodate my needs, as I'll eventually require a wheelchair. I work in software development as it's fun, and nobody cares if I work from bed on bad days. My husband has not worked in 5 years, which has been fine until our daughter was born. Between the settlement money, a paid-off house, and my salary, I enjoyed having him here with me. He contributed by handling most of the domestics. We pay for a weekly cleaner with monthly deep cleaning because it gave us more time together. Ever since our daughter was born, it was like a light switch turned off in his head. For our daughter, he would buy the wrong size diapers, not fully mixed bottles, put diapers on backwards, leave out poop-covered wipes, forget to latch cabinets. This past week, he has gone to the store 3 times because he keeps coming home with the wrong size socks and shoes for her. I eventually just ordered the right ones on Amazon. For me, he has tried to help me with my weekly pill organizer fill-up, and several times has spilled the contents of new medications all over the floor. Then, not seeing that he didn't get all of them off the floor. He has repeatedly brought me grapefruit juice to take my medications with, a huge no. He has repeatedly forgotten that I can't have dairy and puts milk in my coffee or cheese on a burger. He has broken so many things of mine from being careless. He shattered my laptop because it slipped out of his hand when he tried to pack it for a trip, even after I said I would pack my own electronics.
I'm getting like pissed off.
We've lost so many spoons and forks to the disposal. He tried to replace the head gasket in my car and over-torqued the engine bolt, which shattered inside the block, and 2 different shops said they couldn't even repair it. We ended up getting a new vehicle because a replacement engine would have cost $11,000. A week later, he crashed the new car into the garage door because he thought he'd press the brakes, not the accelerator.
What?
He wanted to do TikToks and streaming as a hobby. I supported him initially, but I quickly noticed a pattern. Anything regarding our daughter or me, he was sloppy and careless. He never whoopsied his own stuff. He would build entire sets to stream or make videos with, leave the garage, and leave his brain in the garage.
Fucking clearly.
It came to a head 4 nights ago. He streamed himself building a new set piece, 9 hours straight. Meanwhile, I worked, clocked out early to pick up our daughter from summer camp, cooked and fed both of us, and got her ready for bed. He came out to help me put her to bed. I let him know that I needed to get some work done and would be in my office, and I asked him to take the trash out. He said that he will. 2 hours later, I left my office, and the house felt really warm. He'd taken the trash out, but left our front door partially open, and was back in the garage with his game volume really loud. I panicked, since our daughter is able to get out of bed, but luckily she was sound asleep. But she could have easily toddled right out of the house and he wouldn't have noticed. Then I noticed a stove burner was on, with a small pot on it with nothing inside. I didn't use the stove for cooking that night. I popped my head in the garage and said, quote, "Hey, I need you for a minute." I informed him of the door situation and he responds, quote, "I thought I locked it." We checked the camera and no, he did not. I asked about the burner being on and he said he was planning to make ramen and forgot.
What the fuck?
He pulled the still hot pot off the burner and put it straight into the sink on top of our daughter's favorite plastic plate, which is now ruined.
I cannot stand him.
I'll admit I overreacted and screamed, quote, "What are you doing?" He realized what he'd done and pulls the pot off of our daughter's plate and straight onto the countertop. I quickly grab it and run it under water to cool it down.
Did she say that she overreacted? Honey, no. I would have overreacted so many issues ago.
I tell him I can't tonight. I can't deal with him. I'm taking my meds and going to sleep. He gets a cup from the cupboard and sets it straight onto the burner that had been on. I hit my limit. I started crying. He kept saying that it was fine. Things happen. It's just an accident. He's had a rough day from streaming. He's just tired. Why am I crying? It's just a cup. We can replace it. The anger hit.
She can replace it. You clearly can't.
The anger hit. Not just OP, but Lauren too. And I said, quote, "It's because I have a liability and not a partner." He said, quote, "What the fuck does that mean?" I screamed that it's because I can't trust him to do anything, that I'm always having to watch him like a child, always having to bear the costs of his mistakes, that every time I get careless and think I can trust him to be an adult, I'm always the one getting fucked over. I then said, quote, "I can't see you as a partner anymore. You're just another liability in my checkbook." He immediately stormed out of the kitchen and went to bed. I called my mom and told her what happened. She thinks it's just stress and offered to take our daughter for a week so we could figure this out without our daughter seeing it. She says it was an asshole thing to call my husband a liability. In the morning, I told my husband that my mom would pick up our daughter from summer camp and offered to watch her for a week. He said, okay. And that's the only interaction we've had since. He spends all day in the garage playing games with his friends, making TikToks and streaming. For food, he's been ordering DoorDash and having the person deliver it to the garage. It's been days and he refuses to be in the same room as me. I've tried messaging him to ask him if we can talk or figure out a solution, but he's just left me on red. If I pop into the garage, he ignores me, but apologizes to his friends or viewers for the interruption and unmutes his mic when the noise stops. Before the blow up, I've asked if there was something going on. I've tried to gently respond every time he screwed up so our daughter didn't associate mistake to anger. I asked him to schedule with a doctor to see if something was going wrong medically. He always said I was overreacting. People make mistakes and didn't see an issue, even when the same mistakes kept happening. When I tried to get him to understand that it was concerning just how expensive his mistakes were getting, he'd wave it off as a, quote, it's not like we can't afford it. I love him dearly. I just miss the person he was before we had a child, the one I could trust and rely on. Did I screw this up forever? Was I being too harsh on his mistakes? Am I missing something? Am I the asshole?
Absolutely not. If you guys couldn't tell how I feel about that.
We have an update. I didn't know this existed, and I'm really scared. It is super long.
Oh, shit.
So I think I have a plethora of questions. Because on the surface, it doesn't sound like it sounds like he's airheaded or he's gotten airheaded. That's what it sounds like on the surface. But he was good and he handled the domestics. Like you said, if we're talking about domestics before the daughter, for a lot of women, it would be, I'm assuming, cleaning the kitchen, just cleaning around the house, scheduling appointments, just literally honestly and truly anything that needed to be done around the house. Well, I can't do it because I'm pretty much impaired and eventually I'll need a wheelchair. I mean, I have a lot of metal and basically I'm just getting by. So a lot of stuff he has to take care of. And I'm sure she's leaving that out, to be honest. I think she's specifically upset about the situation. Like, man, when we first started, I'm not happy about the situation of the driver folding me up either. I don't think anybody would be. But once again, you said for better or for worse. So this is worse and you got to take care of me, right? Who knows how long this has been going on that he has had to take care of this. Well, we pay for a housekeeper to come in and then we do the deep cleaning once a month. That's great. That's good. That does relieve some of the stuff off his plate. But once again, y'all talk about how much of a mental load it is to cook and clean. The housekeeper is not going to be doing everything. I just got through reading something about somebody coming through and cleaning a couple of days ago, right? So they're going to do a good majority of it, but they're going to come through weekly and clean. That they're not coming through daily. They're coming through weekly. So he'll have to clean throughout the week. And then they'll come in and then just kind of give the house before it gets too dirty. You're honestly and truly doing that to help him out. If he were to work, he would be even more gassed. The reason he's not working is because he had to basically take care of you. There's probably some medicines. And like you said, I have good days and bad days. And the bad days, I stay in bed and I work. So it's nothing much that I can really do. Hey, babe, can you give me something to drink? Hey, babe, can you give me something to eat? Hey, babe, can you help me go use the restroom? Hey, babe, I need to get up. Can you come here and scratch this for me? So really, he's like, and you're not saying this, he doesn't have a job outside of the house, but he's really actually your caretaker is what he is. And so when y'all have a child, he becomes a caretaker for you as well as now his daughter. Okay. So the man is probably gassed. That's what it sounds like. He's forgetting a whole bunch of stuff. He pulls something out. I think that man probably needs a vacation. He needs to talk to a therapist. Honestly, he was like, well, why don't you get medical help? I need to go back and listen to it, but medical help might mean you need to be medicated. Like something is wrong with you. Like there's a chemical imbalance versus how are you feeling? Are you burnt out? Are you okay? Where are you mentally? I feel like, maybe we need to connect versus I pay for this. He does this. When he goes into his own space, then he can just kind of sit around and chill. He don't have no expectations of him. So he can just play the game. Hey guys, watch this, watch that, watch this, watch that. Nobody's screaming and barking orders at him, right? When he's on TikTok doing his thing. That's me and my time to express myself creatively. I hear modern women saying this all the time. I hear a lot of women saying this. Oh, I don't have my kids. I don't take care of my kids. This is just time for me to express myself, yada, 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 right? And men are supposed to allow that. Well, I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom. I don't want to be a stay-at-home wife because I have to do this. But now all of a sudden when it's flipped and it's him in the position of being a quote unquote stay-at-home dad while you work. And by the way, you're working on the computer and that's really all that you can do is work on the computer. If that man would have had to, essentially what y'all would have had to do is y'all would have had to hire somebody to come in with you and just kind of sit there and help you out, maybe for, 8-10 hours a day. So you're actually, in that regard, saving money, right? Let's say, for instance, you paid somebody $11, maybe 14. Well, I was going to say 8. 10 times 8 is 80, right? 10 times 10, what is that? One. I can't even compute right now. 120 is slipping through my mind. 100 maybe. I think it's 100. Yeah. Sorry, it's slow. I had a slow moment. So you're paying, if somebody stays 8 to 10 hours, 80 to $100 every day. So what is that? 8 times, he's home on the weekends. So let's say that's $700 a day, or $700 $500 a week, right? Deep cleaning is, let's say you got, let's say they come in and do your house a deep clean. Deep clean, you might pay $500 for a deep clean, depending on how big your house is, right? But if you're having them come in and maintain your house, you're probably paying $100 or $125 a week. So if you do 125 times 4, what is that? 500. Okay, let me calculate that. Times 4, yeah, 500. Plus that deep clean at the end of the month, that's $1,000 a month that you spend on cleaning. Now, if he was at work, you're spending, let's say 80, even at that, 80 times, let's say she's there for 8 hours, 80 times, or 80 times 5. Okay, so $400 times 4, that's 16. So you save $600 there. If you're paying her, what, $10 an hour and she works 8 hours. Now, if she's working 10 hours times 8, no. So she's making $100 a day, 500. Whew. Now she's making, so you're somewhere around $1,600 to $2,000 on a monthly basis for somebody to come in and take care of you, somebody to do that professionally, to clean you. And then we have to do groceries as well. So you have to go to the store and shop. I don't know if you're going to be much assistance there, right? But got to go to the grocery store and shop as well. Okay. So you're actually saving money by him being at the house. He gets to stay at the house and kind of chill out, play his game, do TikTok. But then you also have somebody that's staying in and you trust them and they know your needs intimately. And so you don't have to call nobody that you're not familiar with. I would like those questions answered before we get down to I'm tired of him, I'm tired of this. this is happening. He's doing this, right? Because on the surface, like I said, it seems like he's just being an airhead. It seems like you just, not paying attention. But he's probably, and we don't know the age of your daughter, and we also don't know how many years it's been since before you had your daughter. So we need to be asking those questions before we label him the jerk in the situation, in my opinion.
Y'all women are only talking and have phones and internet and running your fucking mouth about men and divorce and child support. Y'all only doing that because we allow it. If men as a whole decided that we want y'all to shut the fuck up, who would stop us? Who would stop us from doing whatever the fuck we want to y'all? Y'all even exist in harmony and have a good life and able to work because we allow it, because we're good people. Because men as a whole are good people. Because if we decided otherwise, we know what other men have done. As a whole, if we decided as a whole that we were going to be barbaric to you stupid motherfuckers, to you ungrateful. What has a man done? I can do what a man does. You can't suppress us. We can suppress you. Yeah, get mad at my comment. Get mad over the fear. Fear that, bitch.
And yet people are confused as to why a growing number of women are choosing to be single. I love how he said we as men are just these good people, and at the same time is threatening violence towards women throughout his entire video. I really don't think that any man who claims to be a good man wants to be violent towards women. And I really don't like these dudes who make it seem like women were just like given their rights from men just out of the kindness of our hearts. No. Okay, women had to fight for their rights. There are so many women who sacrificed, risked their lives to have the rights that they have now. Rights that are always under attack. Rights that this good man would be happy to be seen stripped away.
Well, I guess what he's saying, since you don't understand where he's coming from, is that, and he just prefaced it by, well, I don't need no man. I don't need this. I don't need that. Da, 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 da. These modern women are talking trash. And so he's saying, well, hold on, wait a minute. If you're going to talk trash to me, I'm going to talk trash right back to you. You can't suppress me. I can suppress you. I'm stronger than you. You only walk around here doing what you're doing because I haven't. Y'all are talking about men are such a threat, but you're walking around here doing whatever you want to do because this threat hasn't done anything to you. You talking about, oh, you're threatening violence. No, I'm telling you the reality of the situation. I know you're not silly enough not to understand that. You're looking into the camera and act like you don't understand. You know what that man's saying? Like, you guys are talking trash to me. I could just wipe all this out, but I don't do it because that's not how I think. Statistically speaking, I don't think like that. I don't think about harming women. I don't think about putting women down. I leave women alone. I stay to myself. I mind my business. This is the problem. And what y'all don't understand, what y'all act like y'all don't get. A lot of these ladies out here be talking trash. And then when a man says, hey man, I'm not with that, you can go ahead and do everything yourself. There was a doctor talking about, why don't men help women? Why don't men help women in public? Men will watch a woman can't breathe and won't perform CPR. A woman died of a heart attack, cardiac arrest, because men didn't help. Why aren't they helping? Exactly. I'm trying to tell you that if I decide to move out of the way based on what you said, then you don't have a chance. Oh, well, you can still be a good Samaritan, this, and this. No. If I fear that you're going to lie on me after I try to help you out, I'm not helping. Oh, well, I'm not going to do it. That's the consequences of your own actions, of the things that you said. Now, if you're a woman, you ain't never said that, then yeah, I'll help you out. But if you're a woman talking crazy, talking sideways, it definitely makes a man think twice. It makes him think twice about helping you out. That's the point that he's making. But of course, you, like a lot of modern women, don't get what he was talking about.
The future is not going to be great for feminists. You guys are going to get the equality that you're asking for. Men are not going to protect women in the streets. Men are going to stop signing up for the infrastructure jobs. The birth rate's going to keep falling, and the future is going to be bleak. What's your plan when men stop doing the dirty and dangerous jobs that keep society running?
If you could hold your mic
Sorry, I'll say it again.
Can you give me an example of which jobs you're referring to?
Logging, plumbing, crab fishing, oil rig.
Yeah, those are dominated by men. They have the physical capacity to do it. Men and women are built differently.
What's your
So you're
plan
right.
when they stop?
I mean, we're going to have a problem. Are you suggesting that women should be forced to work on oil rigs and things like that?
What is your plan?
That's a
What do
ridiculous
men
question.
get out of doing those
I don't
jobs?
have a plan, Pearl, for a
Feminists
situation in
never
which
do.
men no longer do those jobs.
They never
Maybe you
do.
do it. I don't know.
What's your plan when men start walking away from marriage? What's your plan?
So, do men or women get a raw deal from marriage? Because you just said
What is
men
your
walking
plan-
away
what
from
is
marriage.
your
So,
plan?
is he culpable for doing that?
What is your plan when men walk away from marriage?
Is he responsible for walking away from a
changing the
marriage?
topic. What is
or
your
is he
plan?
just never guilty of
My
anything?
point is you shit on men.
I don't shit on
and
men.
Yet
I love men.
Yet the very microphone you're using was built by men. The building was built by men. And there's no gratitude or appreciation. You just tell them they're not doing enough.
Got me. You got me. Yep.
So what's your plan when men start walking away from society?
What do you mean by walking away from society?
When men stop doing the dangerous jobs, when men stop getting married, when men stop having kids.
To be quite
What
honest
is
with
your
you,
plan?
if American men decide they no longer want to do those jobs, very likely our government will import men from countries where they're willing to do those jobs. That's probably how
And
it's
what's
going to
your
work
plan
out.
when they date American women and then decide to stop too?
I'm not worried about that.
Of course you're not.
No. I never had.
And I think that's what Pearl's point was. You guys are not worried about a lot of that stuff because you don't care. A man is telling you, hey, this is about to happen. Hey, I feel like you guys are not really taking me seriously. I feel like a lot of the stuff that I do, you take for granted. What is your plan when a man says, I don't want to help you anymore. I don't want to be around you anymore. What is your plan when you say, oh, well, go ahead. Do whatever you want to do. I don't need you anymore. I don't need a man. And then you find out, well, wait a minute, time out. I actually do need a man. I actually need a man to come fix this. I told you I'm not coming over there. Well, it's got to be some man. Well, maybe we can import some men over here to help us out. Let me tell you something. If I got to come all the way from another state, another country to help you out, at some point in time, it might at some point in time in the beginning become like, oh, we got plenty of them. Yeah, we need a job. So you move those men out the way, those American men out the way. And then you say, yeah, that's what I told you. That's what I told you. We can get people in here. We can bring them in here and they'll do all of these jobs, this, and that. Right. But then what's going to happen is these guys are going to come in and they're going to start seeing, oh, wait a minute. We really ain't got that much competition. Right. You actually need this. It'd be one thing if you had men in the house and said, well, I could take it or leave it. But you can't leave it. So these guys can charge exorbitant prices. And that be the thing. I mean, even if you said all of these other guys are charging exorbitant prices, and then you have one guy said, I'll go cheaper. What you're going to do is you're going to cut all the men that are charging high prices out of the market. Well, that's great. And then we'll just go to the guy who's charging low price. Well, after a lot of men are cut out of the market, that means that guy is limited in his availability, or those few men are limited in their availability. So they can drive the prices up because they're a rarity. That's what we keep on trying to tell you. You might float the problem for a little bit, but at some point in time, it's going to be a problem for you. What are you going to do when it becomes a problem for you? You think short term. I don't know. I didn't think about that exactly.
What's your age?
32.
What do you do for work?
I'm a divorce lawyer.
How long have you been a divorce attorney?
Since 2016, I've been practicing, and then 2017 officially barred.
Do you think that sexless marriages can work?
No. And 100% every single time, I mostly work for men. So every single time they're in a consult with me, I'm always hearing, I haven't had sex in 10 years. I haven't had sex in 5 years. I haven't had sex in 15 years. And I'm like, here we go again. The sex talk every single time. So it's you need to make sure you're doing it 2 to 4 times is ideal.
So a lack of sex in these marriages is the most common theme that you're seeing when they end.
Yeah, because it's connected to more of that. It's not just physical. It's all right, well, if you're not into someone and you're disgusted by them and you're pissed off at them, you're not going to be having sex with them, right?
Okay, let's stop there. Let's stop there for the first half. So, oh man. Divorce attorney, right? So she's telling you the truth, right? Interesting to just be doing a man on the street and you stumble into a divorce. Ooh, that's kind of a nice get. This idea of 10 years, 5 years, 15 years without sex. Can I ask these guys, because it's happening to the guys, right? This is not the other way around. I told you there's 2 instances I know of had that was really bizarre to me. And I was like, oh, really? He's not sleeping with you? He doesn't want to? Honey, who is he sleeping with? Because guys just aren't going without sex for that. Come on. Don't be an idiot. 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, guys, you're going without sex. Why didn't you put your foot down? Why didn't you let that happen for you in a marriage, and you're letting it go 5 years, 10 years, 15 years where you're not getting any? This is horrible. Horribly destructive, by the way, completely unhealthy. You can't have a successful marriage without sex. You can't, because it's important. It's a form of connection and intimacy and bonding, and it keeps the spark alive. It keeps all the butterflies alive from when you first get married. And there's always this, oh, well, men get married and then they stop having sex. Well, why is that? Because they're a bunch of pushovers. That's why. Because they don't say, hey, honey, when I married you, this was happening. It's a healthy part of a relationship. It's going to keep happening, or something's going to give, right? They just sit. Oh, honey, tonight? No. Okay. Right? And frankly, guys, listen, if she says no, I'm not in the mood, and I'm not talking about doing something that's not consensual or aggressive, or don't twist what I'm saying, audience. Some of you are a little, I'm not talking about that, but I'm saying if you're going to your wife over and over again, right? And you notice a pattern here, and you don't say something, you don't say, listen, this is not what I signed up for. And she knows that she's walking all over you, your attractiveness goes down even further, right? She's going to want to have sex with you less and less and less, because you're just like, oh, honey, not tonight. Another headache? Okay. Instead of saying, hey, listen, you can't have a headache that many times. So I want to know, are you doing it with somebody else? You flirting with somebody? What's going on here? What happened in our marriage that went south, and how do we fix it? Because I want to fix it, and I want to fix it today. And if it doesn't get fixed, our marriage is going to crumble. And I want to know now, maybe this isn't working out. This is a healthy part of a marriage. This is important. How do we fix it? Are you not signing up to fix it? Because I need to know that now too. Really, you have to have these conversations as a man, right? As a man. If she says, well, I'm not attracted to you, that's a problem, right? Hear her out. If she's like, oh no, I'm not in the mood today. And then you're going to have that go on for 15 years? Honey, come on.
So I really don't want to be this person, but I'm going to be this person. My husband is the most selfless human being on the planet. He gets up every morning at 3:30, drives an hour to work, works 10 hours, gets home at 4:30, takes the kids downstairs so that I can have a moment of silence while he makes dinner. He hand makes everybody's birthday cakes. He's helping me through school so that I can have a career, while in being everything that we all needed him to be. He forgot to take care of himself, and apparently he started developing some dental issues. He didn't tell me because he didn't want me to worry. Well, apparently his front tooth was not doing so great, and my daughter knocked it out this weekend. Mind you, this isn't biologically his child, but he didn't get upset or mad at her. But I can see the effect that it's having on his self-esteem, and we're gonna have to get most of the top row removed and either bridges or partial dentures. But he won't do it because we won't be able to afford to give the Christmas to the kids that he wants to give them. Anyways, now that I've pulled myself together, if you could just like, comment, share, this post so that hopefully it gets enough attention and gets monetized. I don't want anybody to send me their money. I know that everybody is struggling right now, but I feel so helpless because I can't help him. And he deserves help more than anybody I know.
So basically, she's a single mom. And this is them having an elopement. And her dad is in his shorts and Under Armour shirt officiating it. A lot of these women would have had a fit, essentially because it's by any means necessary. I like this guy, he likes me, I'm willing to get married to this guy. I think she has a picture of him somewhere on here. Yeah, there he is right there. Heart will always be for the man who stayed up until 4 a.m. making an orange baby shark cake for my daughter after her dad gave up his weekend right before her birthday. That's a nice cake too. I don't know how he did. That's a nice cake too. Oh, here he is. Here he is. Pretty good looking man, I'd say. Nice looking fella. Struggling. Working hard. Hustling. I keep on trying to tell y'all, there's men out there that will give you the time of day, but y'all gotta have everything just perfect. Gotta be just right. He gotta be the perfect man. Gotta have everything in place, or else it's gonna be a no. Why? If he's got some stuff that he's got to take from you, some baggage that he's got to take from you, then how come you can't do the same thing in reverse? They're not going to answer that because they're not looking to be in a relationship. They're looking to be for the man to be subservient.